Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a topic that's absolutely fundamental to how you feel, think, and function every single second of every day, the endocrine system. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. Endocrine system? Isn't that just the thyroid? And while the thyroid is a superstar player, and we talk about it a lot for good reason, it's only one part of a vast, intricate network of glands and hormones that act as your body's internal communication system. It's like an orchestra, and the thyroid is just the violin section. To truly understand the music of our bodies, we need to get to know all the players. So what exactly is this system? Think of it as your body's wireless network. Instead of sending signals through nerves, which is like a direct phone call, the endocrine system broadcasts messages using chemical messengers called hormones. These hormones travel through your bloodstream to distant cells and organs, telling them what to do, when to do it, and how much to do. This system controls everything from your growth and metabolism to your mood, sleep cycles, and stress response. It's the silent, powerful force that keeps your body in a state of balance, or what we call homeostasis. In this video, we're going on a comprehensive tour of this incredible system. We'll start at the very top, with the command centers in the brain, and work our way down, exploring each gland, the hormones they produce, and the critical roles they play. We'll even look at organs you might not think of as endocrine, like your heart and kidneys. My goal is for you to leave this video with a much deeper appreciation for the complexity and elegance of your own biology. So grab a notepad, get comfortable, and let's explore the endocrine system, going far beyond just the thyroid. It all starts here. Controlling all the others. Releasing crucial social hormones. So, regulating your sleep cycle is actually the job of a tiny but super important gland in your brain. And powering your body's energy? Well, that's the main role of another gland, which works kind of like your body's engine. Now let's talk about these tiny but mighty regulators. The parathyroid glands may be small, but wow, they play a huge role. Managing your body's calcium is their main gig, and that's super important for your health. They're also, essential for bone health. When all four parathyroid glands team up, they form the complete calcium team, making sure everything runs smoothly. The left adrenal cortex, producing life-sustaining steroids. Your inner adrenaline factory, that's the left adrenal medulla. The right adrenal cortex, a mirror of stress. And finally, fueling your fight or flight, that's the right adrenal medulla. The pancreatic islets, your blood sugar managers. The immune school, training your T cells. Alright, so let's talk about ovarian granulosa cells. These are actually the source of estrogen. Next up we have the ovarian theca cells, which are responsible for producing androgen precursors. Moving on, in the testes, the Leydig cells are the site where testosterone is produced. And finally, the Sertoli cells in the testes play a crucial role by nurturing developing sperm cells. Now let's look at the heart's hormone. It actually helps regulate blood pressure. Over in the kidneys, the EPO cells are busy making more red blood. And, just to add, the kidney's renin cells are another important controller of blood pressure. Shifting gears to the liver, it produces a growth factor that mediates the effects of growth hormone. And last but not least, the skin gets involved by starting vitamin D synthesis, thanks to a little help from sunshine. Alright, let's talk about some of the amazing hormones in your digestive tract. First up, we have the stomach's G cells. You can think of them as telling your stomach, digest. Next, we've got the stomach's D cells, which act like the stop signal hormone. They help keep things in balance. Moving along, the intestinal K cells are busy preparing for sugar's arrival. And then, the intestinal I cells come into play, signaling fat and protein. Finally, the intestinal S cells help out by neutralizing the effects of stomach acid. Pretty cool, right? Now, let's take a look at the placental signal. This is what we call the hormone of pregnancy. It's essential for supporting a healthy pregnancy, and honestly, it's fascinating how our bodies work together like this. Okay, so moving on to some really important hormones from the pituitary gland. First is TSH, which is like the thyroid's boss. It stands for thyroid stimulating hormone. Then we have ACTH, also known as the adrenal activator, or adrenocorticotropic hormone. Next up is GH, the famous growth promoter, which is of course the growth hormone. After that there's FSH, the follicle stimulator or follicle stimulating hormone. And let's not forget LH, the ovulation trigger, which is the powerful luteinizing hormone. Prolactin comes next, and it's known as the milk maker, the hormone for lactation. Oxytocin is another important one, often called the bonding hormone, and it's key for labor and love. Finally, there's ADH, the water saver. Anti-diuretic hormone's critical role is to help your body save water. Isn't it amazing how all these hormones keep everything running smoothly? Alright, let's get started with TRH, also known as thyrotropin-releasing hormone. It's the TSH releaser. Next up we have CRH, or corticotropin-releasing hormone. This one is sometimes called the stress starter. Then there's GnRH, which stands for gonadotropin-releasing hormone. It's basically the gonad signal. And finally, we have somatostatin, often called the universal inhibitor. It's like the great hormonal brake, putting a stop sign on other hormone releases. Now, let's talk about T3, or triiodothyronine. It's the active thyroid hormone and really the metabolic powerhouse in our bodies. Then there's T4, also known as thyroxine. This one acts as the thyroid precursor, sort of the storage form. And of course calcitonin, which is all about toning down blood calcium. Moving on, we've got PTH, the mighty parathyroid hormone. It's the calcium raiser, helping to increase calcium levels in the blood. Alright, let's dive into the fascinating world of pancreatic hormones. First up, we have insulin, often referred to as the sugar storer. Its main job? Lowering your blood glucose levels. It's like a key that helps glucose enter your cells from the bloodstream. Next, we have glucagon, the sugar releaser. This hormone is all about raising your blood glucose by causing the liver to release stored glucose. And finally, we have pancreatic somatostatin. This hormone fine-tunes the actions of insulin and glucagon, ensuring everything stays in balance by inhibiting the alpha and beta cells in the pancreas. Moving on to adrenal hormones, we begin with cortisol, known as the stress hormone. But it's more than just about stress. It also affects metabolism and inflammation. Then there's aldosterone, the salt saver, which plays a crucial role in regulating salt and water balance in the body. Next, we have adrenal androgens, which are involved in supplemental sex hormone production. Adrenaline, or the fight-or-flight hormone, is famous for its epinephrine surge during moments of action. Following that, noradrenaline, the alertness hormone, increases focus and attention. DHEA acts as a precursor pool, serving as a source for other hormones like testosterone and estrogen. In the United States, adrenaline is also known as epinephrine, but it's essentially the same hormone. Mineralocorticoids, with aldosterone as a member, are the mineral balancers. Similarly, glucocorticoids, with cortisol in its class, are the glucose regulators. Lastly, catecholamines form the stress group, with adrenaline and noradrenaline being part of this family. Now let's explore renal and vascular hormones. Starting with renin, known as the pressure initiator, it kicks off the pressure cascade in the RAAS system. Erythropoietin, or EPO, is the RBC producer and is often called the endurance hormone due to its role in red blood cell multiplication in the bone marrow. Angiotensin Y acts as the intermediate, a crucial step in the process as renin converts angiotensinogen to angiotensin Y. Finally, angiotensin II, the constrictor, is a powerful pressure increaser, causing blood vessels to constrict in response. IGF-1, or insulin-like growth factor 1, acts as a key growth mediator in our bodies. Next, we have GIP, which stands for glucose-dependent insulinotropic peptide. And then there's GLP-1, or glucagon-like peptide 1, which has several important effects, including slowing down digestion. Stimulating pancreatic bicarbonate release is another crucial process in digestion. The powerful cholecystokinin hormone, or CCK, coordinates digestion by prompting the gallbladder to contract. And finally, gastrin helps by promoting stomach acid secretion. Estrogen is known as the primary female sex hormone. Progesterone is often called the pregnancy hormone as it prepares the body for, well, pregnancy. And testosterone is recognized as the primary male sex hormone. So, let's talk about human chorionic gonadotropin. This hormone is really important during pregnancy. It's actually what those pregnancy tests are looking for. Moving on, there's human placental lactogen, or HPL. Its main job is to help shuttle nutrients from the mother to the fetus, making sure the baby gets what it needs to grow. Now, estriol is another hormone to know about. It's a weaker estrogen that comes from the placenta, and it's not as strong as others, but it still plays a role during pregnancy. Speaking of estrogens, estradiol is the most potent one. Think of it as the main player in the estrogen lineup. Then there's activin, which kind of does the opposite of inhibin. Activin actually stimulates the release of FSH, or follicle-stimulating hormone, from the pituitary gland. On the flip side, follistatin works to block activin, so it ends up inhibiting that same FSH activation. And finally, kisspeptin is interesting. It's like the spark that triggers puberty by activating GnRH release. Pretty cool, right? Leptin is known as the satiety hormone, and what it does is tell your brain, I'm full. It's released by fat cells, and it's a key part of appetite regulation. Then we have adiponectin, which is a metabolic helper. Its job is to improve insulin sensitivity, making your cells more responsive to insulin. And lastly, there's resistin, which is sometimes called the resistance factor. It's been linked to both obesity and diabetes, basically acting as a barrier between fat cells and insulin receptors. The blood-brain barrier is like a protective shield, keeping the brain safe by blocking out large or potentially harmful molecules. Then there's the hypophyseal portal system, which is basically a direct hormonal highway connecting the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland. And finally, the pituitary stalk is the actual physical connection between those two structures, making sure signals can travel back and forth efficiently. Alright, let's talk about keeping thyroid levels balanced. This process is called negative feedback. When levels of thyroid hormones like T3 and T4 get too high, they actually signal the body to slow down the release of TSH and TRH. It's a smart way our body makes sure things don't get out of control. Chapter 90. Cortisol negative feedback. Now let's move on to cortisol. Preventing an excessive stress response is really important for our health. When cortisol levels rise too much, the body responds by reducing the production of ACTH and CRH. This feedback helps keep our stress hormones in check so we don't stay in a constant state of stress. Alright, so let's dive in. The body has its own version of a taxi service for hormones. These little messengers hitch a ride on protein carriers like TBG to get around in the bloodstream. Now, once they've done their job, hormones don't just hang around forever. The liver steps in, acting like a recycling center, breaking down these hormone molecules. And finally, what's left of them is filtered out by the kidneys and excreted in urine. It's a pretty efficient system, wouldn't you say? Moving on, let's talk about intracellular signaling. This is what goes on inside the cell. When a hormone binds to its receptor, it sets off a cascade of events like a domino effect inside the cell. For instance, CAMP is one of those key players in the process, but sometimes things don't go as planned. Enter endocrine disruptors. These are chemicals that can interfere with the normal functioning of hormones by blocking their receptors. It's like having a key that doesn't fit the lock. Next up, neuroendocrine cells. These are fascinating because they represent the nerve gland connection. Imagine a neuron that releases hormones directly into the bloodstream instead of sending signals through a synapse. It's a unique blend of the nervous and endocrine systems working together. And there you have it. A whirlwind tour through the vast and interconnected world of the endocrine system. We've gone from the master controllers in the brain all the way to hormones produced by fat tissue itself. It's truly incredible to think about this silent, constant conversation happening inside of us. Every feeling of hunger, stress, sleepiness, or energy is orchestrated by this complex symphony of chemical messengers. It's not just one gland or one hormone, but a delicate balance of hundreds of signals and feedback loops working in concert. Understanding this system is not just academic, it's empowering. When you know that your sleep is regulated by light exposure affecting your pineal gland, you can make better choices about screen time before bed. When you understand the HPA axis, you can appreciate the physiological impact of chronic stress and the importance of managing it. This knowledge gives you the power to work your body, not against it. It helps you understand why you feel the way you do, and provides a foundation for making healthier decisions every single day. I hope this deep dive has given you a new appreciation for the incredible machine that is your body. It's far more complex and elegant than we often give it credit for. If you found this video helpful and want to keep learning, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. As always, stay happy and healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.